antibody treatment development professional bio company, PharmAbcine. PharmAbcine researches and commercializes every aspect of antibody treatment, from the discovering stage of new antibody candidates to the final clinical development. HuPhage SCFV Antibody Library. PharmAbcine's HuPhage SCFV Antibody Library secures blood from 5 people, separates their peripheral blood monocyte cells, and extracts their mRNA in order to gain cDNA. Using cDNA as a template, we engage in PCR process to amplify heavy chain and light chain variable regions DNAs. Especially since the heavy chain area's variable region DNA is important for the specific bond between antigen and antibody, we maximize the variety of the DNA's pool by amplifying V segment and DJ segment of the heavy chain area's variable region, and engage in cross-fusion of them to obtain their variety for more than 10 to the power of 8. These amplified antibody DNAs are tested for their variety, ORF existence, and mutation through a sequence listing analysis. HuPhage's quality relies on these tests. The light chain variable region DNA set is also composed in the same way. Phagemid DNA. The heavy and light chain variable region DNAs are used to create our antibody DNA library. Since the light chain area DNAs have less variety, they are inserted into phagemid DNA first, constructing the light chain library. Then the heavy chain area DNAs are inserted to complete HuPhage's SCFV antibody library. PharmAbcine's HuPhage library creation process is different from common library creation for business. Its variety has been expanded over 10 to the power of 8 by cross-fusion between V segment and DJ segment, its final number reaching 10 to the power of 11. Constructing a completely humanized, non-immunologic SCFV phage display library. Biopanning system. In order to regain HuPhage particles for biopanning, our library becomes superinfected with a helper phage. The antigen related to a certain disease is coded to a plate. When we spray HuPhage particles on the plate, they bond strongly, weakly, or just sit on top of the plate, depending on the coherence between the antigen and the human-originated SCFV at the end part of HuPhage particles. At this moment, washing the plate with a buffer will take away HuPhage particles that did not bond with the antigens, leaving the HuPhage particles with different levels of coherences. After that, we separate the bonded HuPhage particles from the plate using special liquid. Then we collect them to insert into colon bacterium. Taking them out again with a helper phage finally allows us to gain the amplified HuPhage particles. The amplified HuPhage particles then go through the biopanning 3 to 4 times more, being washed with stronger buffers for multiple times, giving us the strongest bonding HuPhage particles to the antigens. Even though these particles bond strongly, they may have different levels of coherences to the antigens. So we proceed to monoclonal ELISA step to check for the most strongly bonding HuPhage particles by looking at the color reactions. ELISA analysis allows us to pinpoint the HuPhage candidates for sequence listing analysis based on their color reactions. The result will show a few of HuPhage groups having the same sequence list, and these groups will be reborn into a candidate material as the best suited antibody. Antibody production. The HuPhage candidate materials after their grouping through the DNA sequence list analysis is converted into the Y form as an antibody. We proceed to cloning for the relative region's basic antibody frame to create an antibody that bonds with a specific antigen. This antibody goes through tests to check the basic efficacy, productivity, stability, toxicity, and more to become a final candidate for further development. These PharmAbcine antibodies can also become useful by combining them with other technologies. An antibody-drug conjugate that is a combination of an antibody and drug, a bispecific antibody that can bond with two different antigens at the same time, and CAR-T or CAR-NK, which combines immunocytes such as T-cell and NK cell with antibody technology. Antibody treatment development professional bio company, PharmAbcine.